animals that seem to return to life after death. When the word death is mentioned, one thing instantly comes to the human mind. Any living creature that dies can never come back to life. However, nature is always far more bizarre than our imagination. There are certain animals in the world that, after enduring extreme conditions, droughts, freezing temperatures, or even the destruction of most of their bodily cells, appear as if they have been resurrected from the dead. But there is an important catch. Science states that these creatures do not actually come back to life after total death. Rather, their vital functions slow down so drastically, or they possess such incredible bodily regeneration capabilities, that it merely appears to humans as life after death. Let us explore the secrets of these astonishing creatures of nature. 1. Tardigrade water bear. The world's most famous indestructible creature is the tardigrade. This tiny organism, measuring only about half a millimeter in length, is invisible without a microscope. Yet its survival capability is mind-boggling. When its environment dries up, the tardigrade shuts down nearly all of its metabolic activities. It loses over 95% of its body water. Its heart stops, its breathing nearly ceases, and it appears completely dead. However, once it gets water again, it resumes its normal life within a few hours. Some tardigrades have remained in this state for decades and were later successfully reanimated. Even more astonishingly, they can survive the vacuum of space, intense radiation, freezing temperatures as low as minus 100 degrees Celsius, and scorching heat exceeding 150 degrees Celsius. 2. The immortal jellyfish. A tiny jellyfish lives in the oceans that has left scientists utterly amazed. If this creature gets injured, grows old, or faces death, it abandons its adult stage and reverts back to its infant or polyp stage. From there, it grows again and reaches adulthood once more. This unique trait has led scientists to call it a biologically immortal animal. However, this does not mean it can never die. If it is preyed upon, gets sick, or is entirely destroyed, it cannot come back to life. 3. Hydra. The hydra is a small but highly extraordinary aquatic creature. Even if its body is cut into dozens of pieces, each individual piece can grow into a completely new hydra. The specific cells of its body are constantly renewing themselves, which is why many scientists believe that hydras do not experience aging in a natural way. 4. Planaria. The planarian is a flatworm that possesses an unparalleled power of regeneration. If even a tiny fragment of its body remains, that small piece can regenerate into a whole new organism. In some experiments, scientists cut these worms into hundreds of pieces, yet every single piece transformed into a separate, fully functioning worm. 5. African lungfish. There is a fish in Africa that burrows and seals itself into the mud when rivers dry up. Its bodily functions slow down drastically, and it sometimes remains in this state for several years. When the rains come and the water returns, this fish wakes up and continues its normal life. If someone were to see it in the mud, they would think it was dead, but in reality, it was merely in a deep, sleep-like state. 6. Brine shrimp. The eggs of these tiny creatures possess an incredible ability. If environmental conditions deteriorate, their eggs can remain dormant for years or even decades. Once favorable conditions return, new creatures hatch from those ancient eggs. 7. Nematode worms. Some nematode worms have remained frozen in the permafrost ice for thousands of years. When scientists gradually warmed them up, they became active once again. This discovery demonstrated that, contrary to expectation, certain living organisms can suspend their vital activities for an incredibly long period. Do these animals actually die? The short answer, no. From a scientific perspective, death occurs when body cells suffer permanent destruction and can no longer function. All the animals mentioned above actually either temporarily suspend their vital life functions, possess astonishing bodily regeneration capabilities, or revert back to an earlier stage of youth. Therefore, they do not come back to life after true biological death. Rather, they possess unique mechanisms for sustaining life. Why are scientists studying them? The study of these creatures is not driven merely by curiosity. Scientists hope that unlocking their secrets will help find ways to slow down human aging, discover new avenues for cancer treatment, advance organ regeneration technology, find new ways to keep humans alive during long-term space travel, develop new methods to preserve organs and tissues for years. Conclusion: nature shows us that life is not always as simple as we imagine. The tardigrade, the immortal jellyfish, the hydra, the planarian, and other creatures possess traits that, at first glance, look like life after death. However, the scientific reality is that no animal has ever been found that has returned to life after complete biological death. The secret of these organisms is not that they defeat death, but rather their incredible ability to preserve life and regenerate their bodies. It is these very secrets that continue to motivate scientists from all around the globe to study them, because the bodies of these tiny creatures might hold some of the most critical secrets to the future of medicine and human longevity.